Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It is Tuesday night, and it is another round of Flat Out Racing North America action here for everybody. Our Pro AM1 lobby tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So, we have two Pro Am lobbies in the series here this year because we have so many drivers so closely put together at time, and this is the first of the two lobbies that will be shown here this week. So Pro Am 2 lobby, of course, be the last but not least tomorrow evening. So welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good week. It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's ready for some racing. I know I'm always ready for some racing. So let's talk about what we can expect to see here tonight. Again, our Pro-Am guys driving the Subaru BRZ GT300 Ti GT3 race car. And it is going to be interesting to see how it does around this racetrack, actually. The infield sector, that we should see this car just zip around the infield part of this racetrack here. And then, of course, a long straightaway, I think, is where we're going to see this car suffer a little tiny bit, as it's not exactly the fastest car in a straight line, but man, can that car corner. So let's go through our list here. We have M. Morin, we have Raylander from OBR, we have D. Walters, we have Stack and Yak, we've got Amos McCall, we've got Indio, Egon, Apex is Larry Birch, Smoke'em Holt, Apex is Superman, JL Salas, Sticky Bandit, S. Haley, and EOR, ladies and gentlemen, in our Pro-Am 1 lobby here. So 13 guys on track here tonight. It's going to be a very good race. We've seen three fantastic close races here so far in round 3 at Flat Out Racing North America, and again sponsored by GTR Simulators and Apex Racing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Big hello from GT45. Hope you're all well. Stay winning. Hashtag you matter. So we're going to kick this race off here fairly shortly. We're going to talk about strategies here. Now, I'm not too familiar with how this car is around this particular racetrack this week. I didn't really have time to test the BRZ around the track here, so I don't know exactly what to expect. But again, we should expect to see either a 1 or a 2 stop strategy here for our Pro-Am division drivers here tonight. One stop being a little over halfway around the racetrack stint on medium tires, and then usually typically a little less than halfway on the soft tires. You want to try and minimize the amount of laps you're putting on, of course, the better tire, so you run as long as you can on the hard tires. Here's my favorite division, the Pro-Am. What's up, Drone? Hope you're doing well, my dude. We're just going to go do a quick little check, make sure everything's running tip-top shape here. Looks like everything's running really good, so fantastic. That's what we like to see, ladies and gentlemen. We like to see the technology working properly. Corey up in the house, let's go. Hope everyone's well. We are well for sure. So again, 1 stop strategy, long medium run, shorter soft tire run, or a 2 stop strategy. Now, we've seen a combination of the 2 strategies throughout all the other divisions so far in this past week of racing, so it's going to be interesting to see what these guys have in store for us as far as strategy goes. Now, 2 stop strategy is going to be roughly around 20 laps on the medium tires, and then a 10-10 split on the softs, or some variation of that anyways. 1 stop has proven dominant so far in the series this week, as it has been on the top of the podium in all 3 of the other divisions, our amateurs, elites, and pro guys. So let's see what our Pro-Am guys have in store for us as far as strategy, and what strategy is going to come out on top this week. We're seeing a mixture of the 2 strategies week in and week out, but it seems like that 1 stop strategy just proves to be a little more dominant every week. So let's see what our Pro-Am 1 guys have. We're going to flip everybody over to our live scene here. Oh yeah. As you can see, the drivers are on track there. We do have THG Sticky Bandit once again on pole position, so bonus point for Sticky Bandit. We have S. Haley in 2nd place. We've got Apex's Larry Birch sitting in 3rd. We have EOR in 4th. We've got OBR's Raylander in 5th. We've got Smoke'em Holt in 6th place. We've got Egon in 7th. We got Morin in 8th. We've got Walters in 9th. We've got Indio in 10th. We've got Salas here in 11th. We've got Superman in 12th. And we've got Stack and Yak rounding out our field here today in 13th position. And we're going to do something a little bit differently here this time. I think we're going to watch our 6th place driver Smoke'em Holt off the start of this race, and we're going to see if we can try and catch all the turn 1 action as these guys go through that very hard banking left hand corner here, Blue Moon Infield A. And I mean, without further ado, let's get this thing started, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Just kick them tires like them fires. It's time to go racing. Let's get some racing going. I'm excited. I can't wait to see these. These Pro-Am guys are a lot of fun to watch, ladies and gentlemen, so sit back and, of course, enjoy. So just wait for them green lights here, folks. We have 5 reds on the screen, and they are good to go. They are good to go. And Sticky Bandit getting a great start off the line here, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. All these guys coming down. We're going to go 2-3 wide coming into turn 1 before these guys sort themselves out. And we're going to just stay in the mid-pack here, as that's usually where everything kind of goes down when it does go down. So Smoke 'em Holt remaining in 6th place here so far. Morin still in 7th. Egon still in 8th. These guys are behaving pretty well, but 3 wide coming into turn 2. This may not work out for one of these drivers. Oh, and we do see that. We see Smoke 'em Holt going wide. We got Egon getting in contact, and we got a mess. We got a mess coming around corners 3 here, 2 and 3. So a couple of cars getting collected up in there. Just a little bit of contact in a tough sector to be going to 3 wide there. And of course, it just didn't work out for some of these drivers. So some of these guys are on the road here, but actually it doesn't look like anybody really took anything too significant there. A little bit of damage on a couple of the cars, but other than that, some lost time and maybe a little bit of a hurt ego. But these guys are back on the road. So let's get up front here to our leader, who is Sticky Bandit, of course, our pole sitter here tonight. This is a 40-lap race, ladies and gentlemen. Very short time around this racetrack here. We've got Egon coming in with a big-time thumbs up there. We've got Larry Birch in 2nd place, chasing Sticky Bandit. This is a familiar sight based off of what we've seen at Alsace Village last week. And then we've got Haley and Raylander right there in tow as well with these guys. So we got Method coming in with that thumbs up. Much love, Method. I appreciate you. Egon was in 5th place. They're just dropping a spot to Indio here in 5th place. So a little bit of lag coming from this driver here, Indio. But Egon looking to respond back. But again, just being cautious, a little bit of side-to-side movement from that car, so it makes it a little bit tough to get around cars like that, but he is currently running in 5th. Egon sitting patiently behind in 6th, with Walters right behind him in 7th. We've got Smoke 'em Holt here in 8th. Superman all the way up to 9th from 12th place, but under fire from EOR here, who's lost some position, starting 4th on the grid here at the beginning of this race, all the way down, just taking that position away from Superman there in 9th place. Superman in 10th, fighting back here. Ooh, got a really good run on him there. Let's see if we can get a run coming out of the corner here. Stick with this just for a second here as we come around this final corner. Ooh, a little bit of grass there. That helps get the car in rotation sometimes. A little bit of wall contact there. So that's going to slow poor Superman down. Should give Egon an opportunity to catch up to that driver up in front. We got Stack and Yak here in 11th. We got Morin in 12th. And we've got Salas here in 13th. And he does have a little bit of damage on that car right now, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely can confirm that. No, says Walters. Sticky Bandit in the lead, though, and this is a familiar sight so far in this Pro AM1 lobby. We've seen this driver leading the race here, I believe, all 3 weeks now. So tough competitor here in this BRZ, in this Pro AM1 lobby, ladies and gentlemen, is Sticky Bandit. And you can see Larry Birch is just right there. Larry Birch hasn't let him get anywhere. He's like, no, mate, not tonight. You're not just going to try and drive away from me. We're going to have a little fight here. Haley right there in 3rd place. Haley, one of the drivers that got promoted from amateur division for last week, and proving that he is definitely worthy to run here in these Pro-Am divisions as well. So doing a very, very good job here in P3 currently, holding down the final podium spot. Very young in this race, so only lap 3 of 40. We'll be starting lap 4 here very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. And OBR's Raylander, do we have game audio is the next question. I bet you we don't. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. I do that every broadcast. Raylander in 4th. We got D. Walters here in 5th place. You guys should have game sound now, so I do apologize. Indio here in 6th place. We have Smoke 'em Holt here in 7th, with EOR now up into 8th place. So they're making some moves, this gentleman here, to get back up into the front of that grid. We've got Morin in 9th, and he is having a nice little battle with his buddy here, Stack and Yak. We've seen these two battling quite heavily a couple of times there at Alsace Village last week as well. So these two starting to get very familiar with each other here in this Pro AM1 lobby, and looks like Morin's going to come out in front of that little mini battle between these two drivers here currently. So Stack and Yak sitting in 10th. Superman just behind these guys here in 11th place. We've got Salas here in 12th place. We've got Egon rounding out the field here in 13th. So may have made a pit stop, that driver, it kind of looks like. Got Chris Reeves coming in with a 150 star bomb. Cheers, Tim, you're a legend. Go Apex. Hey, let's get a hashtag Chris up in the chat, please, ladies and gentlemen. Much love, my dude. I really do appreciate those stars. Also coming in with that thumbs up. You guys are the legends. We just bring the action to you guys so you don't miss it. Sticky Bandit and Larry Birch very close together here. I mean, this is like a second gap between these two drivers at the most at the moment. So Larry Birch doing a very good job at pacing Sticky Bandit here right now, and Sticky Bandit trying to get away from him, but he just ain't letting it happen. But those two drivers are driving away from our third and fourth place drivers, Haley and Raylander here as well. So Raylander sitting in fourth place, and he does have a little bit of damage on that car now, so that could compromise him as this stint goes on. Interesting. Indio in fifth place, and again, this driver is suffering from a little bit of connectivity issues here so far in the race. Hopefully that doesn't result in a failure on his car here today, and hopefully he's able to finish this race. We got Smoke'em Holt dropping down to seventh place just as we went to check him there. So EOR moving up into sixth place. Walter's going up into seventh, following him through. Smoke'em Holt being a big loser there, dropping down 2 spots. But these are all Team Flying Fox Racing here too, ladies and gentlemen. So maybe a little bit of team strategy here. Instead of battling, these guys are just swapping positions around and just continuing up the track. With 3 of these guys here, potentially 4, I think. We got Smoke'em Holt here, and behind these guys starting to catch up as well. That could create a pretty good slipstream chain and maybe help these guys catch up to those guys that are just a little bit up the track ahead of them, 4 or 5 seconds. More in here in 9th with Stack and Yak chasing in 10th place. We got Superman chasing him as he's just coming around the final bends here. Salas in 12th place, and Egon now catching up to Salas here as well in 13th. So again, our race leader here currently, ladies and gentlemen, lap 6 of 40 now, is Sticky Bandit. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Cold Waters. Up in the YouTube chat with the hashtag Chris. Absolute legend over in the YouTube chat. Love that. Apex Larry Birch here in 2nd place, and he has closed right up on Sticky Bandit. Are we going to see a move here, or are we just going to see him just kind of hang out behind Sticky Bandit here? I mean, if I'm in this position this early in the race, I'm thinking about, well, hey, I could probably save an extra lap of fuel here, maybe a lap of tires as well, just chilling behind this guy. Obviously, he's got good pace. Yeah, maybe I'm just going to hang out here for a while. So we might be seeing a little bit of that here from Apex's Larry Birch currently on the racetrack. Ooh, a little bit squirrely, but hey, getting around nice and tidy there. And again, like we've seen at the Jaguars and the GTRs, and of course the Mercedes in all the other 3 divisions here over the weekend, is that turn 1 can just absolutely make or break a lap for you here, or your race. You can throw that car sideways if you're not ready for it. It could just put you into the wall there, and that could definitely be the end of your day as far as your race goes. So the drivers have a lot to contend with here. We have OBR's Raylander still chasing Haley here in 4th place as well. Doing a really good job there so far. Indio in 5th place. Looking quite solid here. We got EOR in 6th with teammate Walters in 7th. And Morin in 8th, and Smoke'em Holt here in 9th. So 4 Flying Fox drivers, all almost nose to tail here in the mid-pack. We got Stack and Yak in 10th. We've got Superman here in 11th from Apex Racing. We've got Egon chasing now in 12th. So Egon has gotten around Salas here. And again, Salas does have a little bit of damage. So we have about 3 or 4 cars currently on the track that are suffering from some form of damage or another early on in this race. And it does affect these cars. These cars do rely not heavily on aerodynamic downforce, but they do rely on aerodynamic downforce in these cars to help stick them to the road at these speeds. And the little bits of damage that these drivers put on the suspension and the aerodynamic packages on these cars, it definitely affects lap times, the way the cars handle, turn in, sometimes the way the cars brake. It depends on the type of damage you've received. So it definitely does affect your race if you are racing with some damage on the race car. So drivers might be anxious to get into pit lane, of course, to get that all sorted out and let their crews fix their cars up for them so they're running a little bit more efficiently in what they're hoping and ideally expecting to see on the racetrack. Larry Birch very close behind here. He is trying to just stick right on Sticky Bandit here. Again, I don't really think he's trying to battle with Sticky here. I think he's just kind of hanging out, chilling, and using him a little bit to punch that hole in the air and then just trying to take advantage of that. So we are seeing Sticky Bandit, of course, going to break the slipstream there, and then, of course, going back up into the racing line. Larry Birch is not going to fall for that. He's just going to follow the line there and stick right into that slipstream. Coming around corner 1 here, very close together are these 2 drivers. So very, very good driving by our leaders here currently, Sticky Bandit and Larry Birch in 1st and 2nd place. We see Raylander coming into pit lane here, and Haley under pressure from Indio there. No, I think that was Haley going around potentially another car there. That may have been Apex's Superman there, so Superman may have just made a pit as well and just come out there as Haley was coming around. I was a little confused at which car we were seeing there. Indio's still in 4th place here. EOR in 5th with Walters and Morin right there in tow, and then still Smokem Holt just a little bit off the pace here, just a little bit behind these guys. And you can see lagging a couple of drivers here today. Of course, we just had an update here a little less than a week ago, and that usually unsettles the lobbies a little bit, so we are seeing a little bit of that here today, but the guys still having a pretty good healthy race. Egon up in the tied 10th place here now. Raylander, of course, just making that pit stop, so that puts him in 11th place. Yeah, Superman as well, he has made a pit stop, I will confirm that, so sitting in 12th. And of course, Sal is here as well, now making a pit stop as well. So he is getting a blue flag. Markers waved at him, but in this sense, just because they're out of sequence in pit stops, he's not really technically a lap down, even though he kind of, I guess, is about to be put a lap down. But once all these pit stops start to move back around in sequence, he'll most likely end up on the back on the lead lap again. We've seen that a lot in the pro race actually as well. So it's a little bit confusing if we're reviewing, but just because they're getting the blue flag, they're not necessarily really a blue flag car at this point in the race. It's just because pit stop sequences are starting, and that's going to put drivers out of position for the time being. But Sticky Bandit is still leading the race, of course, hasn't made that stop yet. Larry Birch still right there in tow, has not let him go anywhere. We've got Haley and Indio now, Haley with Superman on him there as well. And again, much of the same thing. Superman's just in a pit stop sequence where Haley hasn't pitched yet. So this is a legitimate battle between these two race cars in a sense. The Superman doesn't need to give way to this driver. So you can see him showing plenty of respect to this driver, but he also realizes that once this driver pits, he is going to return back on the lead lap. Indio now in behind here in 4th place as well. So it's getting a little spicy here. You can see Superman is just going to opt to stay low and try to give these guys the racing line here, but you could see Indio using that slipstream as much as he could, and Superman's actually going to pull back up ahead of Haley here as well. So here we go, good little 4-way battle we have between drivers here right now, and Indio's going to move up into 3rd place as Haley gets a little bit wide coming into the corner there. And again, that's just that car hitting that flat surface and just unsettling on him a little bit, but he's going to respond back, coming up the inside, doesn't quite get it done, and oh, we got Walters getting a little bit wide there off coming into the corner as well. So really unfortunate here for them. Hopefully it's not too bad. Ooh, really slow on the track. He's going to come around right in the line here. This could get a little crazy. Ooh, that was very close there, as he went into emergency mode there, pressing the pause menu to get into ghost mode, so he didn't cause a further incident. So quick thinking there by that driver. Actually, we got Stack and Yak here in 8th place. We've got Egon just making a mistake there in 9th. We've got Raylander coming around here in 10th. He's probably going to grab that position on Egon here now. We're just going to take a look, and he may. We got EOR now in 11th, Superman here in 12th, and of course Salas in 13th. Some of these drivers have pit, some have not. The majority of the top end of the field has yet to pit. We see another Flying Fox driver coming into the mix here in front of the leaders, so we're not sure which driver that is, but doing a great job of getting out of the way there. He is getting away with the blue flag, but again, a lot of these guys are out of this pit sequence at the moment. Not technically blue flag cars yet, because once these guys pit, they'll probably get all those laps back, but still showing the respect to the leaders and just allowing them to continue on with their battle here going on in front as well. So Haley's now starting to catch up to that driver as well. We've got Morin here now up into 4th place, so Morin's having a good little run here as he hasn't stopped yet. Walter's right in behind in 5th. Indio now chasing in 6th with Smoking Holt there in 7th. He hasn't gone anywhere either, ladies and gentlemen. Stack and Yak still right there as well. OBR's Raylander has made a pit stop. Egon now coming back into pit lane here again. He's going to take some tires. Not the best of days there for Egon, but hey, you know what? It happens to all of us, ladies and gentlemen. That is for sure. Superman in 12th, and JL Salas here in that nice spicy little Viper car there in 13th. Very faint, but very good looking livery. Fox is showing how a team practice together, work well together. We're spread pretty thin with only 3 drivers, all in different lobbies. You guys are okay though, showing great pace so far. And Larry Birch just getting the job done on Sticky Bandit there. Not sure what happened, maybe a little bit of an incident, a little bit of a mistake from Sticky Bandit. I was just too busy looking at the chat, so I apologize. But Larry Birch now in the lead, so our second leader of the race here currently in this Pro AM1 lobby, and it does belong to Apex's Larry Birch. So now in the lead, about 1.5 to 2 seconds ahead, and we do have some damage here on Sticky Bandit, so definitely making a mistake there. And now he has I'm not sure which driver that is. I believe Gonna go through the back of the field a little bit here to find out which one it is. EOR, I believe it is. That is just getting surpassed there by Sticky Bandit, and that is correct. You see Sticky Bandit actually coming into pit lane there. Obviously, he's going to opt to get rid of that damage as soon as possible. Egon there in 11th, Superman here in 12th, and Salas in 13th. So back to the race leader, who is Apex's Larry Birch. So maybe a good thing here for Larry Birch. Sticky Bandit has to go in a little bit earlier maybe than intended if he's trying to go for a one-stop strategy here, as Larry just has no pressure. He can just run some good, hopefully quick, crisp, clean laps here, gain a little more time on Sticky Bandit. Plus, Sticky Bandit's going to have that repair time in pit lane as well. So Haley's staying out. He's going to take second place as that driver, as some of the drivers are starting their sequences here. We got Walters now going to move up into the third spot here as a final podium position as we are on lap 14 of 40, ladies and gentlemen. Indio moving back up into fourth place, and this driver has been pretty much hovering around fourth, fifth, and third here all race long. Smokem Holt now going to jump up into fifth place with those pit stops happening. We got Sticky Bandit coming out in sixth place after his pit stop. Stack and Yak is going to settle just in behind him there in seventh, with Raylander chasing in eighth. Now Raylander's starting to gain on Stack and Yak a little bit here. We got Morin now coming in for a pit stop as well. EOR is coming around here to start finish line straight right now, and he's a little bit behind these guys, but you can still see one of the drivers up ahead there. Egon coming around, he should grab that position on Morin as well, who's in the pit lane there. And Egon just having a little bit of a tough start to the race there, and just putting it in there, trying to do what he can here, catch up as many positions as he can now on the racetrack. Superman in 12th place there, and of course Salas rounding out the field. So still have all our drivers on track. So the mechanics have been doing a great job early on in the season, keeping these race cars in tip-top running condition for our drivers to get onto the track and go have a little bit of spirited competition here every weekend. So huge shout out to all the crews and the crew chiefs and all the mechanics and behind the scenes that keep these beautiful Subaru BRZs in tip-top running order, and of course keep that paint real nice and shiny on a week in and week out. But Apex's Larry Birch in a good position here right now. Third of the way through the race, you see him coming out there. You can tell that that tires are really starting to wear out on that front right, as just not able to hold that line anymore. And you can see he's going to come in here now. He's going to take a pit stop. He realizes he's probably going to start losing time if he doesn't. So overcut accomplished? Yet to find out. Walter's coming around with Indio in tow here in third. So let's see. Walter should take the race lead if he doesn't pit here. And we'll now see some of these drivers start to unlap themselves as well as the pit stop sequence starts coming full circle here. And Walters may get Larry. I'm not sure here. It took him a little while to get around. I think I see Larry actually. No, he is still in pit lane there. So I did see a car coming out of pit lane, but it was not Larry. So Walters is now going to take this race lead here on lap 16. So our third race leader of the night here today is Walters. So Flying Fox Racing now leading this race. Indio here in second place, with Sticky Bandit now moving back up into those podium positions in third place. We got Smokem Holt here in fourth. Larry is going to come out in fifth place. So Sticky Bandit managing to make the undercut work and with the damage repair, so that's interesting. Raylander here in 8th place. We got 6th place. EOR in 7th. Haley in 8th place. And again, these guys still have, some of these guys still have pit stops to make, so we're going to see these guys move around a little bit further yet here. Egon in 9th. We've got Morin rounding out our top 10 here tonight. We've got Stack and Yak chasing in 11th. Apex is Superman right there behind one of the drivers, and Salas here in 13th. So you can see the field, much like we saw in the Pro Division last night, getting mixed up with the different sequences of pit stops and different pit strategies. So that's what makes this interesting. And at the end of the day, we'll see where everybody settles when the dust settles. So it's quite interesting. We got Aaron Benson coming in with the light, Joe coming in with that light as well. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. Good evening, Winter Circle, and howdy to our host with the most commentary streams, Mr. GT45. Appreciate you, Joey. We appreciate you. Top admin here, ladies and gentlemen. He really is the heart and soul behind what we do here at GT45 Gaming. He is my right-hand man here, so can't do it without him. Appreciate him for sure. And yes, I know you still need your moderator tools back. I gotcha. I don't know why Facebook took them away. But Walter's in first place. Indio in second. Sticky Bandit in third. So Sticky Bandit there, trying to get ahead of Larry Birch as quick as possible. You can see Larry Birch now grabbing a spot here. He's up into fourth place, so starting to chase Sticky Bandit back down already. Smokem Holt here in fifth, doing a real good job, but Raylander now putting the pressure on. Is he going to take a look on the inside coming into the hairpin? He is going to take a look. Is he going to be able to get the job done? Absolutely. no question of a doubt there. Raylander just getting it done quick and easy and moving up the road here. So Smoke'em Holt dropping down to 6th place. So it didn't look like he really fought that move too much. He just kind of got out of the way and just let that thing happen. So he can continue on his race. EOR here in 7th with Haley in 8th. Egon in 9th, right in behind Haley here as well. So Egon's starting to make some moves here. We got Morin in 10th place, Stack and Yak in 11th, Superman in 12th still, and Sal is still rounding out our field here. We do have our leader now coming into pit lane. So Walters is pitting now. Indio's going to take this race lead here, and he is our 4th race leader tonight here, ladies and gentlemen, in our Pro AM1 lobby. This is presented by Flat Out Racing North America, and of course it is sponsored by GTR Simulators and Apex Racing as well, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in if you're new to the broadcast. I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming, and of course to all our returning OGs and viewers, welcome back. And what else was I going to mention? Right, if you're also interested in knowing more about Flat Out Racing North America, ladies and gentlemen, right at the bottom right hand side of our screen there is the Instagram link to their Instagram page. So if you want to see more about Flat Out Racing and see all posts about upcoming events, scheduling, standings, stuff like that, just head over to the Instagram page and throw them a follow there. And every time our awesome media team behind the scenes over here at Flat Out Racing America gets something fresh and new and exciting for you guys to see, you'll definitely get a ping and you'll be notified, and you can go see what's coming up next. So huge shout out of course to the whole team behind the scenes here at Flat Out Racing North America, and of course to all the drivers on track. Sticky Bandit now up into 2nd place, and he is up all over Indio here. I mean, Indio is on a very long stop here at this point, on a little bit of an alternative strategy potentially as well. But this driver is putting in some work, let me tell you. From based off what I can see, he is doing quite a phenomenal job there. But he does lose the lead back to Sticky Bandit here. So Sticky Bandit's going to move back up into the race lead here. And we got Larry's just a little bit behind here chasing. So Larry's got to navigate his way around Raylander yet in order to get back on this fight for 1st place with Sticky Bandit. But he has Raylander absolutely flying up to his back end here. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens when Raylander catches Larry Birch. You know, these guys are going to be on different tire compounds potentially. They have different fuel loads in their cars, so this is what makes everything very, very interesting. Madeline Crow coming in with that thumbs up. Much love. Appreciate everybody for stopping in here. We got Smoke'em Holt in 5th place. EOR is in 6th, and man, some of these guys are pushing absolutely hard here now to start catching up to the guys in front. We got Egon, who has gotten around Walters now in 7th. Walters is in 8th with Haley in 9th, so Haley's dropped a couple of spots here. Ooh, getting it a little bit wrong there. Almost having a little spin there. So tough day here for Haley. We got Morin here in 10th place. We got Stack and Yak in 11th. Superman here in 12th, and Salas here in 13th. And this car is looking just fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely great stuff. I'm trying to get a good close-up on it here. It just won't quite give it to us, but there we go. That's a pretty good shot of what that livery's looking like here from our 13th place driver. Salas looking just sharp. PD Snow coming in with the thumbs up. Derek Nolan coming in with the thumbs up, and the share from PD2. Much love, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. So Sticky Bandit still in the lead, and he has a gap here now. He has opened up about a 3-second gap on 2nd place driver Larry Birch. So Larry Birch has found his way around Raylander now at this point, and Raylander dropping back down into that final podium position here in 3rd place. Smoke'em Holt here in 4th place, EOR in 5th with Egon in 6th, Walters in 7th, and you can see Walters is not too far behind Egon here. He hasn't really lost the pace with Egon at all. We got Haley here now up into 8th place with Morin in 9th, Indio down into 10th here. Now Indio was just making his pit stop, ladies and gentlemen. He was in 3rd place, of course, so Stack and Yak here in 11th, Superman in 12th place, and again, Sal is rounding out our field. So Sticky Bandit is showing to be very, very dominant here in this Pro AM1 lobby so far this season, ladies and gentlemen. Not too many drivers have really had the response for this driver, and again, showing to be very worthy of the podium here tonight. But we still have a lot of racing left. Only 21 of 40 laps completed here, so these guys still have half a race to go here. Anything can happen. Larry Birch here in 2nd place, still chasing, and he has Raylander really closing up there on that back spoiler. So Larry Birch looking a little bit in his rearview mirror here, I'm sure, as Raylander is really starting to close in on him here. Taking semi-defensive line there as he came around that hairpin, but I don't know if Larry's too worried about Raylander making the move here or not, as he is just going to stick to the racing line, of course, into this corner. And this is more of a gentleman's agreement between racers for the most part, that final corner here on the racetrack. You don't go through their double file till it's the last lap and you're fighting for a position or something like that, you know what I mean? Let's go, says Derek. Egon here up into 5th place now, so Egon's starting to make up some traction here after a little bit of a rough start for this driver, but he is starting to make his way back up the field. Walters is now up into 6th place here, following Egon through as well. A little bit of damage on that car. We got Haley now up into 7th as well. Morin in 8th, Indio in 9th, and Stack and Yak now rounding out that top 10. Smokem Holt is just behind Stack and Yak there, trying to chase him down. You can see Superman just in behind Haley here. And you can see, oh, that's Sticky Bandit actually, I believe. So Superman just being passed by our leader there actually. And now he has a teammate, he has his teammate Larry Birch coming up in behind him here, but Raylander getting around Larry Birch there, so Raylander getting the job done. He's going to move up into P2. Let's get up to that driver here, as him and Larry Birch have been battling pretty good, so, ooh, a little bit of juicy happening here. Raylander going to get the job done. He's going to take P2 from Larry Birch there, and you can see Superman's just going to stick to his line there. Raylander's going to get around, and I'm sure that Superman's going to let Larry Birch around very quickly and easily here. Obviously, teammates, and you can see that there. He's like, do what you got to do, go get him, buddy. And Superman's probably just going to slip back up into the slipstream here, maybe. And that's exactly what we're going to see. He's going to tuck right back up into his teammate slipstream here and let him go challenge, of course, for that 1st and 2nd place position. There we got EOR in 4th place here. We got Egon in 5th. So Superman, one of our drivers, down a lap here so far on the racetrack. Super unfortunate, but hey, it happens to the best of us. They're still out there competing and giving it everything they've got. Haley up into 7th place here now, and he's got a little bit of pressure here right now from the likes of Morin and Indio just in behind our OBR drivers. So a little nice juicy battle happening in mid-pack potentially here very soon as Indio's trying to catch up. He just clipped a little bit of that wall on the exit there. That's probably going to cost him about 1 or 2 miles per hour, but he does have the slipstream advantage there, and it is very strong here in these BRZs, as we can see as they're coming up the straightaway. It's just closing all 3 of these guys right up nose to tail by the end of the run here. So going to come down to which driver basically nails this corner now. May have the potential to make a move on the driver in front. And it does look like Haley's going to keep it so far coming into the infield sector here. We're going to stick with this little battle here right now. Whoops, wrong way I went. And as these guys come through the infield, if anybody's going to make a mistake under pressure, it's going to be through this sector of the racetrack here. It is the technical part of the racetrack. It's quite easy to make a mistake. As you can see, the walls are very, very close. Hello, GT45 and all. How you doing, Mr. Grayson? Hope you're doing fantastic, my bro. Coming in with that thumbs up and the follow as well. Hey, hey, welcome to the winner's circle, my dude. Even though I know you were a follower before. That's Haley here in 7th, and he's taking a look. He's taking a look. Oh, and Indio's going to go through as well. So here we go. A little battle happening, a little position changing happening. Morin's going to move up into P6. Oh, but he gets into the wall there a little bit, and Indio's going to move up into 6th. And of course, I believe it's Haley now is going to move up into 7th, and Morin's going to be on the receiving end of that one, dropping himself back down to 8th. So we're seeing some hard racing from the boys here in our Pro AM1 lobby tonight. And coming into that last corner a little hot, going out a little bit wide, and meeting Mr. Barry, our every sim racer's not so big best friend, but hey, kept him straight, kept him in line here, and he's still on the racetrack racing. So Smokem Holt here now in 10th. We got Egon in 11th, Salas in 12th, and we've got Superman here in 13th. So Sticky Bandit still leading the way here, and he has a nice little tidy gap here at the moment on the 2nd and 3rd place driver. Larry Birch and EOR currently right now. But we are going to see a pit stop here coming from some of these drivers very soon. Larry Birch here in 2nd, EOR is in 3rd. He has a little bit of damage. We have Walters here in 4th place, starting to chase him down. We have Indio, who we just seen in a good heated battle between him, Haley, and Morin, starting to get up the road a little bit here away from these guys. Haley's in 6th place, and Morin is still right there in 7th on his tail. So Morin is definitely not done with this battle yet. He's like, hey, mate, hold on. Come on back here, would you? We ain't done playing yet. We got OBR Raylander, and he's starting to shake up on these guys as well. We see Superman in between those guys. We got Stack and Yak. He's got Larry Birch coming up on him here. You can see that blue flag being waved here. So, of course, these drivers still need to automatically pull over as soon as they see that blue flag wave being waved here, as it does come a little bit early. Just to give these drivers warning that another driver is catching up to them. We have Smokem Holt here in 10th place with Egon here in 11th, Superman in 12th place, and we got Salas making his pit stop here, so this is probably his final pit stop of the night. Yeah, maybe. Hard to say. We've got Bob Cross coming in with 100 stars over on Facebook. Let's get a hashtag Bob up in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for the 100 stars, my man. This is high performance guitar from YouTube. Told you I'd get you on Facebook. Okay. Now I follow you, my dude. Hope you've been well, my man. It's been a while. So our leaders come into pit lane here. So Sticky Bandit has made a pit stop here. Larry Birch has taken the lead. So interesting strategy we're seeing from Sticky Bandit here. He only pit what seemed like just a few laps ago. That's going to give Walters third place here as he's making that pit stop, or does it? No, Sticky Bandit is going to come out just in front. So we're going to have a battle for the podium here as Sticky Bandit is just coming out of pit lane here. And Walters is going to get this position from Sticky Bandit. So Sticky Bandit here in fourth place. Indio still chasing in fifth with Haley in sixth. Raylander in seventh. Morin now making a pit stop. He's going to come in here. He's got some damage, so I'm not surprised to see that happening. We've got Smoke'em Holt here, or sorry, Stack and Yak, and he is right up on the back end of Larry Birch here. So let's see if he makes a move on Larry Birch here. No, he just does back off. You see him just go a little low and break a little bit there. I don't think he's trying to get around Larry Birch there. Of course, that slipstream just pulled him right in. Smoke'em Holt here in 9th with Egon in the top 10 now. Warren sitting there in 11th. Superman coming around here in 12th and Salas in 13th. But the new leader is Larry Birch here as we're about 27 to 40 laps in. So with that being said, let's stick with this for a second. Let's give you guys a little bit of juicy information. Let's knock our banner out here. Let's let everybody take a look at what these guys have going on the racetrack right now. Our leader is on that medium tire. There's about 25% fuel left in that car, so that does mean he's most likely going to have to make one more pit stop yet. And that definitely could be interesting to see how that works out for Sticky Bandit. So EOR is here in second place. That's not supposed to come up. And you can see he's on the medium tire here as well, but he's very low on fuel, and you can see he's got some rear suspension and rear aero damage there as well, so he's going to be wanting to pit probably to get rid of all of that, so he has a nice, good, clean, efficient race car. We got Walters. He's going to keep doing this to me here tonight. Here in third place, and this driver here also has some damage, some front aero and front left tire suspension damage, and he's on the soft tire with about a half tank of fuel, so he's in a tough spot here. He's either got to decide if the damage is costing him too much time or if he should just drive it out. That is going to allow Sticky Bandit most likely to probably get around this driver fairly easily, though, as he has no damage, fresh set of tires, and looks like he's set up for the final run here of his race tonight. We've got Indio here also on the soft tire. He's got about 35-40% fuel in that car, so potentially this driver's going to have to make one more stop yet tonight. And we see EOR coming into pit lane there right now. We got Raylander coming around here in 6th. He's on the medium tire. He's got almost a full tank of fuel there, so he's probably going for the long haul here. Stack and Yak is on those soft tires, and may or may not, probably does not have the fuel to continue on all the way to the end of this race, so we may see this driver stop one more time. Smoke'em Holt here is on a fresh set of medium tires with about 65% fuel. That could be enough for him to get to the end of this race. Egon here with some racing softs on, and not quite a full tank of fuel, but suffering from some front suspension and aero damage here on his car. Morin coming out here, he's got a fresh set of softs and a full tank of fuel, so he's looking to go all the way here. Haley, much of the same thing. Apex Superman, much of the same thing. Couple lap old tires there, and Salas, much of the same thing. Brand new fresh set of soft tires and a full tank of fuel. We do have a blue flag situation here, so let's just hang out and, of course, watch how all this goes down. Now, these drivers aren't unfamiliar with each other at this point. You know, we are 3 rounds into this season now, 3 weeks in. So these guys are starting to settle into the paces of the races and, of course, the rule sets and the regulations and everything involved on and off the racetrack, of course. And, doing a really great job here. He doesn't need to ruin his race to allow these drivers to get by, right? So he's just allowing them to catch up. Now let's see where he let him through here. This is a tough spot to be in as a blue flag car, but you can see him let up there. One driver gets through. He goes out wide. Sticky Bandit gets through. Job done. So that was a great job there by Salas, and you can see Sticky Bandit getting around the other driver there as well. So great job by both those guys. That was a tricky situation for both those drivers and handled very, very well here in our PRO AM1 lobby tonight. So our leader is coming into pit lane. So Larry Birch now into pit lane. Sticky Bandit is just coming up to the final corner here now. So let us see if he comes out ahead of our leader Larry Birch or not. I'm assuming this is going to be Apex's Larry Birch's final pit stop of the day here. And let's get on board. He's still taking some fuel in that car. So Sticky Bandit has come across the start-finish line here now. Where is Larry Birch going to come out? Larry Birch just coming out in behind Sticky Bandit here. So, ooh, very close between first and second place. No, he comes out ahead of Sticky Bandit here, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies. He came up behind a lap traffic car there, it looks like. So, Larry Birch still in the race lead here with Sticky Bandit chasing. So, this is going to be interesting. We got Indio in third place, and this driver's been having a fantastic race here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Raylander here in fourth place with Walters in fifth. You can see him making his NAS pit stop of the race, stacking Yak in sixth place. Smoke of Holt now in 7th, EOR in 8th with Morin in 9th, Haley in 10th, Egon in 11th. We got Superman here in 12th and Salas in 13th. So, boy, oh boy, is this field jumbled up today. My real name is Pork, not Bob. Anyway, let's go Victory Race Space Racing. Gotcha. Miss Devious coming in with that thumbs up. How are you, Miss Devious? Welcome in. Sticky Bandit in second place, and boy, oh boy, we are having some issues with our spectator mode here tonight. It is just not wanting to cooperate with me here, but Larry Birch is now coming up on some lap traffic here, so it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do here. Who's he coming up on? I believe it's Stacking Yak. I can't tell from this angle, but he's definitely coming up on one of our drivers here, so let's see how he works his way around. Now, ideally for Larry here, he wants to get caught up to this driver really quickly, get around him really quickly, and hopefully that means that Corey maybe gets held up, or Sticky Bandit, sorry, gets held up behind this driver for maybe a corner or two while we go through these technical sectors, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. Larry's going to have to wait to go through here, as this driver is just holding the racing line here. And he's going to come around this final corner here, and then we should see this driver. Oh, he got into the wall, so he should move up to the top side of the racetrack and let these guys have the racing line there. And a little bit unwilling to look like there, but he does get out of the way there. So great job by that driver there. And Sticky Bandit now has to catch up to these guys, and of course do much of the same thing. So right now Larry Birch has a nice little tiny gap and a car in between him and Sticky Bandit. Ideal situation for Apex Racing's Larry Birch right now. He can try and work on just opening up a gap as quickly as he can here. Indio coming into pit lane, did not expect to see this from this driver, so he's going to drop a position down here. Raylander's going to come around. He is going to take third place from that driver. You can see he's just Salas it was, sorry ladies and gentlemen, coming up on Salas here as who those guys are working their way around right now. And Salas is just going to hold a tough outside line there, a very tough line to hold there, and looks like does a great job there. Looks like Egon getting through there as well, so great job to Salas letting those two guys through without any difficulty or complications. We got Smoke and Holt here in fifth place, Stacking Yak now in pit lane with Indio as well, so Indio is going to come out just ahead of EOR there in sixth place. You can see EOR just coming into turn one there. Ooh, almost got that exit wrong there. Very dangerous spot to come into turn one there, and did a great job to keep the car underneath him. Morin's going to come around. He's going to grab 8th place from Stack and Yak here. And Morin has, it looks like the leader, Apex Larry Birch starting to catch up on him here as well. So clearly a couple of these drivers have got some incredible pace here today. We got Haley in 9th. We've got Stack and Yak coming out of pit lane here in 10th. Egon still here in 11th place with Superman following in 12th. And of course Salas here in 13th. But Larry Birch now cruising up the road here. He's got Sticky Bandit chasing in behind him. And he is coming up to our 8th place driver, Morin. So, interesting little bit of racing happening here, Blue Moon. I didn't expect quite to see the field separate this quickly here in the lobby tonight, but it definitely did. So, we've seen a little bit of early incidents, of course, in the first couple corners there, and that does contribute to some drivers maybe pitting out of sequence a little bit, but the battle for the lead here tonight is going to be between what looks to be Larry Birch and the Sticky Bandits. THG Sticky Bandit, not Sticky Bandit. Here we go with the does again. Let's get out of this view here, and Larry Birch is just doing everything he can to get up the road here as quickly as he can. We've got Sticky Bandit here in second place, and he's got 2-3 seconds there behind Larry Birch. So Larry Birch has, I wouldn't say what you call a comfortable cushion right now, but a cushion nonetheless. OBR's Raylander here in third place, and he's just gotten around Egon there as well. That I believe is in 11th there. So Walters is in fourth place here, and he's just outside the podium here. Let's see if he can make something happen on Raylander up in third place. We've got Smoke and Holt here in fifth with Indio in sixth. A nice little battle developing between these two here, so let's stick with this for a second. As we do have Indio starting to put some pressure on Smoke and Holt up in front. Indio's definitely having a little bit of lag here today. it seems like, on the racetrack. So tough racing. Oof, tough racing, ladies and gentlemen, tough racing. But EOR right in behind there. He's going to get around Smoke'em Holt here. So Smoke'em Holt's just kind of has to give up there. I mean, the slipstream is just supreme in this situation, and Indio taking full advantage of that and just getting the job done coming into turn one. So Smoke'em Holt needs to basically try to set him up to do the same thing coming back around the next time around here, but he does have EOR now coming in, and EOR is going to take the inside run there, and he's going to take that move as well. So EOR is going to move up into 6th place. Smoke'em Holt's going to lose 2 positions in that battle, all the way down to 7th. Morin here in 8th place, and he is getting waved that blue flag as Larry Birch is starting to encroach on him here. So let's see how he does her. Now again, Larry, the leader's not right on the back end of this car, so this car doesn't need to just stop right here, right now. But as of course the leader is starting to catch up, that driver is starting to think about where the best spot to allow this faster car to go through is going to be, and probably in this situation is going to be coming onto the bank corner here. And oh, he's actually going to just get out of the way right before that corner. He's going to let Larry Birch through, so great job there, of course, by Morin, and that really didn't cost him a whole lot of time. He just tucks right back into the leader, maybe cost him a 1/10 of a second on track. He pulls off the racing line, lets off the throttle in that car, and that allows that faster driver to get through. Both drivers don't really lose any time at all, so great job there by Morin. Haley here in 9th place with Stack and Yak in 10th, and Stack and Yak is getting that blue flag waved at him now, as well as he has, I believe it's Raylander maybe coming in on him. So, and you can see him, he's just saying much of the same thing. He's going to stick up to that high line there, and let's see if he gives up the position coming into turn 1 here. He should, and he does. He's just going to let off the throttle here a little tiny bit, and that should allow Raylander to get through nice and safely here. There we go. Look how much time wasn't lost there. Ooh, and a little bit of a fight back there. So a little bit of a mistake made by Raylander there. And Egon's going to take advantage there as he's going to drive through both of them and say, all right, guys, you know what? I'm just going to take this. You guys are going to be a little silly here. And, yeah, you guys follow me. So Egon moving up ahead of all those guys here. So he's going to get ahead of Stack and Yak for position in 10th place there. And Raylander still trying to find his way around those two guys as he did make the mistake. He had it done and he made the mistake. So those drivers do, of course, have the option to get back around there. If they can maintain pace ahead of that driver, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That driver is allowed to get his lap back. So Haley here in 9th place with Egon in 10th. And you can see he's getting away with that flag, but the guy chasing the leader there, he just can't seem to get pace on these guys to get around him. So he is caught up to, I believe, Stack and Yak. You can see Yak's going to get out of the way there. He's going to go back up on that high line, give him another opportunity to get around here. And hopefully he doesn't overcook corner 1 this time. And I think it's, I believe this is Raylander. It could be Indio. I can't remember which one it is. Whichever one is lagging. And fastest lap on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen, does belong to Indio, actually, with a 106.859. So very respectable lap for this Super. And you can see him getting around Stack and Yak there now. Now he's going to work on getting the catch back up to Egon and get around Egon there. Superman here in 12th place, Salas in 13th. So we've got about 3.5 laps remaining here, ladies and gentlemen. And I keep hitting the wrong buttons. But Larry Birch is starting to get a little bit of pressure here from Sticky Bandit. Sticky Bandit starting to close that gap up just a little bit here. So we're going to have a little battle brewing between these two at the end of the race. It's hard to say. We'll have to see what Sticky Bandit's got in that race car for Larry Birch. Raylander here in 3rd place, and he's a little bit behind the rest of these guys. He's a little bit off the pace in this final stint, it seems like. He doesn't have any damage on that car, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on here with Raylander, but still holding down 3rd place quite well. Walters here in 4th place with Indio in 5th. We have EOR in 6th place here, Smoke'em Holt in 7th, Morin in 8th place, Haley in 9th, Egon in 10th as he's just coming into corner 1 here right now. Stack and Yak is just behind there in 11th, with Superman chasing in 12th, and Salas here rounding out our field in 13th place. A couple laps down from our leaders here. But Apex's Larry Birch currently in charge of this race here. So with this being said, while we have a couple of free available minutes, ba-bam, standings, ladies and gentlemen. We'll kick them out, kind of out of the way of the racing action a little bit here for you. There we go. All right, so leading coming in is Sticky Bandit with 51 points. You can see Larry Birch chasing him with 41. You can see Walters right there with 35. Egon with 32. EOR with 25 points, and it looks like tied with Morin for 25 points as well. Got Raylander with 22, Indio with 18, Stackenyak with 14, Haley with 12, Superman with 12, Smokem Holt with 12, Salas with 4, and 2 drivers that haven't made the races yet here so far this season. So that is where the standings set up as we are coming near the end of this race here for a little bit of perspective, ladies and gentlemen. But Larry Birch is looking quite in command here. He's just got one more lap around here once you get out of this infield sector. Sticky Bandit is chasing, but I don't think he's going to have an answer here for Larry Birch today. It's interesting to see. He's doing everything he can to close that gap up, and it does look like he's slowly closing it up, but I don't think he's got enough time here to catch up. Raylander here now opening some clean air here, so hopefully he can try to do something, but he again is just running out of time as well. Walters here in 4th place, Indio in 5th, EOR in 6th place, Smokem Holt here in 7th, Morin in 8th, Haley in 9th, Egon in 10th, got Yak in 11th, we got Superman here in 12th place, and Salas here in 13th, and Larry coming up to Superman here right now on the racetrack actually. So final lap for our race leader, ladies and gentlemen, 1 to go. And there we go. You can see Superman say, there you go, buddy. Go get that checkered flag, brother. We got Sticky Bandit here in 2nd place. He has to go. He has to get around Superman here too. Now we know that Superman's just going to let him around there as well. But I think it's too little, too late here for Sticky Bandit in round 3 to catch up to Larry Birch. But anything can happen. This is racing. Raylander just coming into turn 1. Walters is just coming up to the start-finish line here to start his final lap. Indio not too far behind. EOR is just coming around that final corner. Smokem Holt is right there getting a little bit of pressure from our leader here. So let's get back to our race leader. We don't, of course, want to miss these guys coming across the start-finish line. So we're going to stick with our leader. I mean, he's got just one little corner left in a high-speed sector, and that is going to be a race win for Apex Racing's Larry Birch here in round 3 for our Pro AM1 division, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Apex Racing's Larry Birch. And the boys back at the clubhouse are definitely going to be happy about that one. Sticky Bandit coming through here in 2nd place as well, so great race from him. Just didn't have a response to Larry Birch here today. Raylander in 3rd place, and you can see he's just gotten around Egon there as well. So our top 7 guys coming across a little bit further behind, but we're just going to continue to wait for our top drivers to come across here first. Raylander is going to finish in the final podium position here in 3rd place, so OBR driver Raylander doing a great job in P3. We got Walters here in 4th place. He's going to come around here right now. And great finish there for Flying Fox Racing as well, ladies and gentlemen. Indio from OBR, he's going to come around here in 5th place, so great run for OBR here tonight as well. EOR from Flying Fox Racing, he's going to come around here in 6th place, and then of course followed by teammate Smokem Holt and Morin. We got Haley finishing in 9th place. We've got Egon rounding out our top 10 here today. Stackenyak did come across that line in 11th, with Superman finishing in 12th here today, and JL Salas rounding out our field for our race finale here tonight, our final for the end of our race in round 3. I cannot get my words right today. GG drivers, much respect. At least the Sticky Bandit flows nice, not waiting for the Trone Kobe. Ha 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 ha. Old Larry getting it done though, boy. Super Chris Reeves coming in with that like as well. Much love, everybody. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go jump over and see if we can grab some of these drivers for some live podium interviews here. So just bear with me for 1 minute. We're going to shut some audios off. We're going to flip the screen up for you, and we'll be back in about 90 seconds time, ladies and gentlemen. Just bear with me for a second, ladies and gentlemen. I can't find the driver's chat all of a sudden, so I just need a moment to track it down. We really do need Flat Out Racing to name their racing chat Elite Division Chat, Pro Division Chat, Pro AM1 Division Chat, so I can find these chats for interviews. There it is. We got two of them in there now. Perfect. There we go. That helps. All right. So if you're watching Raylander, jump into you guys' chat that you guys go into during the race, please. Hello, gentlemen. Is this the driver chat now? Alright, I'll add Raylander if I can find him. No, I'm gonna have to change it up. I think we'll start doing them on Discord. Yeah. I don't have Raylander on my friends list, or he's already in here. One or the other. We got Nick up in the house with a thumbs up. How you doing, Nick? Hope you're great. Paul Blonstrom as well. Much love, my dude. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we do have a couple of our drivers here. We're missing our third place driver now. I know we wanted to do the interview. He just, again, may not know where to be. I'm having a little bit of logistical confusion on my end of things, so I mean, that's on me, the broadcaster, but we'll get it sorted out for next week's interviews, because of course I always want the drivers to have their opportunity to speak when they do get on the podium. You know, not every driver hits the podium every week, so it's nice to give them their moment in the spotlight, so to speak. So if you're watching Raylander, just find our chat, man, and jump in and we'll talk to you. But we're going to move over to our second place driver here for the time being, ladies and gentlemen. He may have sent me a write-up possibly as well. I'll take a look here in a second. But the Sticky Bandit. So much of this race we've seen led between really two of the drivers on track here, and that was, of course, Sticky Bandit and Larry Birch. These two drivers have been proven to be very quick here so far in the Pro AM1 lobby, and seem to be the two guys that everybody really needs to start paying attention to. We had some great racing from Raylander and some of the other guys in behind them, but at the end of the day, it just didn't seem to have the same pace that these two particular drivers continue to show up with on the racetrack. So congratulations on a great run again here tonight, Sticky Bandit. Not on the top of the podium here tonight, only sitting on that that middle-sized step here tonight. So talk to us about your race a little bit and how it went for you.
Oh yeah, thanks. It was a really good race. Started off really well, ran out into the lead, and had Larry Birch back there chasing me. I almost made it to my pit window, but lap 13 there I fell off the track, took on some damage. I had to dip into the pits early, and kind of threw me off a little. Again, I managed to get back on track, and I don't know what happened in the last pit stop I took. I overfueled, so it was just that one little mistake I made, and overfueling. There's a second here, second there, turns into 4 seconds, and I couldn't catch Larry at the end there. He was on fresher tires. I seen him come out of the pits in front of me, and I knew I was on older tires, and I knew he had pace, so it was going to be a struggle. And I saw him coming up on lap traffic, and then they just moved over and let him through. And I was thinking to myself, no, hold him up a little. It was good though. Oh man, these pilots in the P1 Pro Am division, they're absolutely heads up. They're really good. They got the respect for the blue flag or whatnot, and they just move out of the way, make it really easy. I found it really easy. Everybody had a lot of respect, so I really appreciate that for sure. Much love for the drivers.
Absolutely, and you know it's surprising to see too. Of course, all these divisions are so equally paced. I mean, when qualifying was all said and done before the end of the season here, we've seen just you know, especially in the Pro Am division, time separated by thousandths of a second. So I mean, you don't expect to see that much slower traffic, I guess. So, was that a little bit of a surprise for you guys today?
I was a little bit surprised. I mean, we qualified. The top three of us were only a tenth away from each other, so I knew it was going to be really tight. I guess I'm watching the replay here, the race again. I didn't know this when I was racing that the incident there at the start, everybody kind of racked up a bit, and that kind of I guess that must have just thrown everybody to off their game and thrown into panic mode, sort of so to speak.
Absolutely, and I mean a lot of the ways throughout the race too. And I mean you were a victim of much of the same thing. You know, just small little mistakes, and of course not a lot of runoff here at Blue Moon Infield, for the cars if you do get it wrong, right? So unfortunately for the drivers on this track for this weekend, you make that mistake, you touch the grass, that usually relates into hitting the wall, which usually relates into getting some damage on the race cars. So I mean we did see almost every driver in the field tonight suffering some form of damage or another at some point in the race, which of course is going to potentially affect your pit stop strategy, or just of course cause you time in pit lane while those guys are fixing, whether it be your front clip, rear clip, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I mean, even with the pit lane there, you did come out ahead of Larry after the final round of pit stops. Did you think that maybe you still had a shot then at that point?
I did, and then I saw him pitting. I was coming around watching him. I knew I watched his little fuel gauge there. I was hoping I was coming out in front, and then as I came down the straightaway and he popped out in front of me, I kind of had a feeling, it wasn't going to happen. Like I say, I was on those older tires, and he had a few laps on those fresher tires, so there was going to be no catching him, not with his pace. So he was screaming.
Absolutely, and I mean, again, you know, when you're at the end of the race and you're navigating some of the blue flag cars too, he had good opportune moment to put a car in between you and him there to kind of give him that little bit of a cushion he needed, and I think that might have been the turning moment between you two for that battle for P1. I think by the end of the race as well. But nonetheless, another fantastic drive for you. I'm sure the team back at THG is just absolutely gleaming with these podium finishes coming out of you here in Pro Am1 lobby. With that being said, of course, thank yous and shoutouts, my man.
Yeah, right on. I'd first like to, thank all the fans for watching at home. It's great. Thanks for the support. Thanks to our league sponsors, Apex Racing and GTR Simulator. Thanks to my team, THD Racing. And I'd also like to say a special hello to my super awesome daughter, Kaylee. Daddy loves you, Kaylee.
Absolutely. Great shout outs. Sorry, I was just a little distracted. We do have Raylander in the Facebook chat there. My man, you want to come in for an interview? Just jump into our chat we got going on here. But again, congratulations, Sticky Bandit Man. Huge second place finish. That's definitely going to help your points. You had a 10-point advantage over Larry Birch coming into the race here too this week. So only finishing one position behind. Of course, you did have the pole position point there from qualifying, so a bonus point for you. So minimalizing the damage here in round 3. What's the strategy and the thought process going into Barcelona next weekend?
Well, I already got the crew there. I've been out checking out the laps, doing a few laps myself. I don't want to be caught off guard like I was this week and not practice enough. So I'm gonna try and get as best prepared as possible and just get out there and do my best.
Absolutely, and just great job. And it's going to be a tricky track, Barcelona. Barcelona is one of the most aggressive racetracks as far as tire wear goes on the race cars here, ladies and gentlemen. So I think we could see some interesting strategies coming into week 4 as well for Barcelona. But again, great drive, mate, and great solid points. And that should just be enough to keep you up on the top of the standings for at least another week here yet. And of course, allow yourself to try and pad that lead a little bit more as we move forward. Great running by you as well, and we're going to jump up to
Thank
our
you.
first place driver here while we try to get our third place driver into the chat here as well. So Larry Birch, Mr. Larry Birch, there you go. Congratulations, bringing in the big time win here today for Apex Racing, of course, for yourself. First win of the season, yes?
Yes, definitely first win of the season, first win in any league race actually. So it feels pretty good.
Oh, well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The first league race win here for Larry Birch. So why don't you let the viewers know how your race went? Talk us through it a little bit, and I'm going to try and get our third place driver into the chat here.
All right, it started off pretty good. I had a good start. I got right behind Sticky, and yeah, much like you were saying on the broadcast, the plan was just to follow him. I mean, I know he has the pace, and so I just stuck behind him. And then he had that little incident on lap 13. I was able to get ahead of him, and then go a couple extra laps before I pitted. And at the end of the race, that's what really I think mattered, those couple extra laps on the fresher tires. But yeah, when I came out of my first pit, I was shocked I was behind him. So he must have had an amazing 4 or 5 laps in there. And then I was equally shocked when I came out in front of him on my my final pit. And you know, I very familiar with that position. I was in it last week, a couple seconds behind on tires that are starting to go. It's just super hard to catch. We're pretty evenly matched. I mean, if you look at the first 3 races, I think we have about the exact same amount of time on track. I know he got me by a couple seconds in the first 2 races, and I got him by a couple seconds here. So it's going to be a season-long battle, and I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, and well said. And I mean, you guys have been, like I said, you guys have been pretty much battling each other right from the start of the season here. So your first race wasn't your best race of the season so far, but boy, oh boy, have you made up for it in the last 2 races, finding 2 podium finishes here. And of course, tonight, you're the man standing tall here on the top of the podium. So, you know, I'm gonna actually approach you with the same question. I mean, you definitely had to deal with some blue flag markers, not only at the end of the race, but really early on in the race as well, as guys were starting to get out of pit stop sequence and that. So, how do you feel that all went today here in the race?
Oh, it went great. You couldn't ask for better racecraft from everybody. You know, people stayed on their line, and I could pass them where I couldn't, or where I could, and some people actually just got out of the way, which was, you know, nice. But yeah, it didn't slow us down at all. I don't think it affected the battle between me and Sticky. I think we both had the same opportunities getting around these guys, and it was nice and clean. So that was, you know, it's always worrisome when you're coming up and you got a guy hot in your tail. But yeah, there was no issue at all. No need to worry.
Absolutely, and I mean, and like I was saying to the viewers near the end of the race, you know, you guys are starting to get familiar with each other on the racetrack now. This is your, you know, week 3 of racing here in this pretty competitive series, and you can definitely tell that you guys are starting to get very, very comfortable around each other on the racetrack. We're seeing the battles get a lot tighter and a lot neater, and a lot more high speeds. So, for the most part, it was a fairly uneventful race for you. You were one of the very few drivers here tonight to keep your car out of trouble. So do you think that really contributed to the success here on the racetrack tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was my plan going in. You know, Thanksgiving and everything. I didn't get much practice, and I think a lot of people, everyone I talked to, didn't get too much. So that turn 2 and that last corner are just kind of death traps. So I definitely took it easy on those 2 corners and probably gave up, you know, a couple tenths a lap just to not cause any damage. But in the end, I think that was the difference.
Absolutely. We all know that Blue Moon Infield A can be an absolutely really exciting racetrack to race on until you get it wrong, and then it makes you pay. And we definitely seen quite a few of the drivers, unfortunately, not necessarily paying a big price today for their mistakes, but definitely paying a small enough price to put them out of contention for the race win. But this man here today kept it right. He kept it tight. He kept it neat and clean. And he brings home that Apex Racing green machine across the finish line first to take checkered flag. So much love, my dude. I'm super thrilled for you. I know I know obviously you're an OG here at my community here, GT45 Gaming. I've been watching you race right from the beginning, and I'm super proud of you, dude. So congratulations, man.
Well, thanks, bud.
And
I
shoutouts, of
appreciate it.
course. Can't
Yeah.
can't let you not have that.
No, no, definitely. First and foremost, all my Apex boys. I wouldn't be here without running and practicing with them for the last, year. I've definitely improved so much. Shout outs to GTR Gaming for sponsoring, and of course Apex for sponsoring, and the Flat Out Racing League. It was hyped up before it started, and it has lived up to it. Everyone is still just as excited each week. And then shout out to my beautiful wife, of course, for letting me spend all these hours behind this rig. And then to GT45, you, Ghosty, thanks again for awesome commentary. I look forward to it every week. I know I got some family and friends that I send the link out to, and they watch and they like it. So thanks again, man. It makes it fun for everybody.
Yeah, cheers. Appreciate that. It really hits the heart when we get the love like that, and we get it from everybody, obviously, here, because that's just the way the sim community is, man. We support each other, and we do what we got to do to make sure everybody's on a good vibe and some high spirits. So huge shout outs from our winner here tonight, Larry Birch. And just on a side note, Raylander, I still can't find him to get him into the chat, so we're gonna get this sorted out for next week. I promise, ladies and gentlemen, to all the drivers as well. We're gonna change this over to some Discord interviews from now on, moving forward as well. So it's a lot easier just to find the chat that way. But Raylander, he had a fantastic drive, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is also showing incredible pace on the racetrack. He's had 3 very good, solid races here tonight for Team OBR. And he is in the Facebook chat. He did say that, a big shout out to his fellow drivers. I'm sure he's got plenty more to say than that. But I'm sure he's quite pleased, and I'm sure that he would say thank you to his team and, of course, the league and the sponsors. But this guy's a legend. He's coming into Facebook sending 30 stars as well. So let's get a hashtag Carlos up in the chats, everybody, before we send this thing off here tonight. And again, congratulations to the podium finishers. OBR's Raylander for a great 3rd place finish. And THG Sticky Bandit just coming up a little short today. Didn't have an answer for our race winner, Apex's Larry Birch. So congratulations to all 3 of these guys. And Pro Am 2 tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag Carlos. Appreciate you guys up in the chats. Pro Am 2 lobby tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. Final race of the week from Flat Out Racing North America, but let me assure you, definitely not the least. One more action-packed race, 40 times around Blue Moon Infield A, and let's see who is going to be the master of Blue Moon coming into Blue Moon Infield A tomorrow. Yes, this is correct, Prozac. P2 tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, ladies and gentlemen. We will be live with our Pro Am 2 division. And, of course, at the end of that, we will have some podium interviews kicking. We'll try and get the Discord thing set up for tomorrow night, so the drivers get their fair opportunity to speak to you guys, the fans. So much love to everybody out there watching, to everybody coming in and liking and sharing the streams. Much love. Really appreciate it. If you haven't liked and streamed yet, please, if you could do so, that'd be fantastic. It's just 2 free things you can do to help the pages grow. And if you really did enjoy the racing, the content, the commentary, of course, what the drivers have to say after the races, just do us a favor and hit that subscribe button or that follow button over on Facebook. Turn on those live notifications. You'll never ever miss another moment of Flat Out Racing North America, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. Presented by Flat Out Racing North America, sponsored by GTR Simulators and Apex Racing. Our beautiful graphics on screen provided by Hypre Graphics, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Stay winning, everybody. We love you all so much. Thank you for the support.